Hello, dear learners, and in this session, let us go through the systems approach to problem solving. Let's start with a scenario. Imagine you are part of a manufacturing company that faces production delays and rising costs. Management adopts a systems approach, examining the entire process of raw material procurement, production, inventory, and communication. They identify interdependencies such as delays in material delivery affect production and shipping, worsened by communication gaps between departments. Understanding the dynamic nature, they anticipate future challenges like machinery aging. Employee feedback highlights machinery breakdowns, negative feedbacks, while inventory management improvements show potential, which are positive feedbacks. The goal is to streamline production, reduce delays, and control costs. Here's a question for you. Using the systems approach, identify three key actions to improve efficiency, addressing interdependencies, and aligning with goals. To explore the answer, it is essential to understand the concepts in depth. So, let us proceed with the learning objectives of this topic. By the end of this topic, you will be able to explain the systems approach and its importance in addressing complex problems holistically. Identify the key principles of the systems approach. Identify the steps involved in the systems approach to the problem solving. Analyze the benefits of the system approach to problem solving.
Next, let's move on to the principle of the system approach, holistic perspective. This principle means looking at the entire system as one whole instead of focusing only on individual parts. It helps us understand how each part contributes to the overall performance and success of the system, interrelationships, and interdependencies. In a system, no part works on its own. Everything is connected and dependent on each other. Recognizing these relationships ensures that changes to one part of the system don't create unexpected problems elsewhere. Dynamic nature. Systems are always changing and evolving. A systems approach considers these changes and prepares for future challenges. It acknowledges that systems are not fixed but constantly moving. Let's continue with the next principle, feedback loops. Feedback helps us understand how changes in one area affect the rest of the system. Positive feedback increases or amplifies changes. Negative feedback balances or stabilizes the system to keep it on track. The last principle is goal orientation. Every system has a purpose or goal. The systems approach ensures that any decisions or solutions align with the system's main objectives. This helps keep efforts focused and meaningful. By following these principles, decision makers can solve problems more effectively, understanding not only the parts of a system, but also how they interact and evolve. Moving on to the next topic, stages of the system's approach to problem solving. There are 7 stages in the system's approach to problem solving. Let's discuss one by one. Problem identification. The first step in solving a problem is to clearly recognize and define what the problem is. It's important to understand both the symptoms, what is happening, and the root causes. For example, if a company is facing delays in product delivery, the problem might be deeper within the supply chain, not just the transport system. Some key questions to ask during this stage are: what exactly is the problem? Who will be affected by it? What impact does it have on the organization? Goal setting and objectives. Once the problem is identified, the next step is to set clear and measurable goals. These goals should be linked to the organization's overall mission and help measure the success of the solution. For example, if delivery times are delayed, a goal could be to reduce these times by 20% in the next 6 months. System analysis. This stage involves looking at the existing system and how all its parts work together. The team collects data to identify what is working well and what is causing problems. Diagrams or flowcharts can be used to make the system structure clearer. For example, a supply chain analysis might uncover issues like slow inventory management or supplier delays. The next step is developing potential solutions. At this point, different possible solutions are created. These ideas should take into account factors like cost, availability of resources, and risks. Creativity is important in this phase as it helps generate a range of ideas. For example, solutions for delivery delays could include upgrading inventory systems, working with new suppliers, or using advanced logistics software, evaluating and selecting solutions. Each proposed solution is carefully evaluated to see if it can meet the defined goals. Techniques such as cost-benefit analysis, risk assessment, and feasibility studies are used to compare different options. For instance, the organization might compare the costs of upgrading technology versus hiring more staff. The next step is implementation. Once the best solution is chosen, the next step is to put it into action. This could involve changing processes, introducing new technologies, or training staff. Communication and coordination are key to ensuring that the changes happen smoothly. For example, if new logistics software is adopted, employees would need training to use the new system effectively. The last step is monitoring and feedback after the solution has been implemented. The performance of the system is closely monitored to see if the desired outcomes are being achieved. Feedback from stakeholders, such as customers and staff, is gathered to assess how well the changes are working. For example, the company might track delivery times and ask customers for their feedback on the new system to evaluate success. Next, let's move on to the benefits of the system approach. First, let's discuss comprehensive solutions. The systems approach helps solve problems in a way that looks at the bigger picture. Instead of just addressing one part of a problem with a quick fix, it focuses on finding long-term solutions that work for the entire system. This ensures that solutions are not only effective but also sustainable over time. Informed decision making. By understanding how all parts of a system interact, decision makers can predict the likely outcomes of their choices more accurately. This helps them make better, more informed decisions based on data and analysis rather than assumptions. Encourages collaboration. The systems approach encourages working together as a team. It involves many people with different expertise, which ensures that the solutions created are well-rounded and supported by everyone. This teamwork increases the chances of success and ensures that different perspectives are considered. Now, moving on to the next benefit, that is reduces unintended consequences. By considering how different parts of a system are connected, the system's approach helps avoid causing new problems while solving existing ones. This method helps anticipate potential side effects and reduce the risk of making changes that could lead to unintended issues. Enhance adaptability. Because the systems approach takes into account feedback and how things can change over time, it helps organizations adapt quickly and effectively to new circumstances. It allows businesses and teams to stay flexible and make necessary adjustments as situations evolve.
In this topic, you have learned the system's approach to problem solving examines issues holistically, addressing interrelated components within a system, emphasizing interdependencies, feedback, and sustainability. This approach ensures effective, dynamic, and goal oriented solutions for complex organizational challenges. And it follows structured stages, which are identifying problems, setting goals, analyzing systems, developing and evaluating solutions, implementing changes, and monitoring outcomes. You have also learned the systems approach ensures holistic solutions, informed decisions, collaboration, reduced risks, and adaptability for effective problem solving and change. With this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you and happy learning.